I'm Karen C. Spear-Elmwood, Education Specialist and PhD candidate at the University of Arizona, College of Education, Department of Teaching, Learning, and Sociocultural Studies. This is a presentation for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and PBS, growing 21st century knowledge professionals through Zonebee. The focus feature will allow the student to tag and annotate his ideas or his thinking about the results that he finds while those ideas are fresh in his mind. This next part shows that he returns to the CCC movie he had already viewed as part of his trail, and now wants to follow up on other PBS resources. He finds some facts about different campgrounds and work camps in Arizona National Parks and wants to make that part of his trail so he can return to that information later when building his report. He notes here that these are in Arizona and then saves it. He then decides he actually wants to clip that information so he could use those as a quote in his paper later, and returns to the Focus Zonebee cursor menu and clicks on Clip. He continues to explore the resources on PBS, and as he finds an overview or introduction to the Civilian Conservation Corps that contains information that he'd like to save for his report, he tags it appropriately and then saves it. And as you can see, using this process, the student continues to build a trail. If he finds a quote he wants to use to copy and paste later into his journalist report, it's as easy as that. He can continue to peruse those resources, and just to give you an example, in that help menu, if you press on focus, you not only get that pop-up, which is movable. You continue to use it to rate it as well. This is a favorable resource, something helpful for the project. But you can also use that help zone below to see a text summary of the page to determine whether or not this is a page you want to explore further. Is it relevant or highly? Next, the student needs to take all these things that he's learned about, and he needs to prepare this report, and one step in preparing the report is to build an outline or a concept map. If he goes to the Build feature on the toolbar, the drop-down menu allows him to choose Google Docs and spreadsheets to build a textual outline, or he can choose Mind Map to get MindMeister application online, which allows him to build a web of ideas that will provide the teacher with a graphic display of his outline of ideas for writing his project. This is another way in which the teacher can use Zonebee to access the student's trail and see how their ideas are developing in their project. Here the student started the mind map earlier, so he uses Reflect and Review Trails to go back to the mind map that he already started. As you can see, each record contains a direct link back to where the student was earlier. Here he clicks on the map for the Great Depression and economic recovery. He has a basic outline that he began from the teacher's trail in his initial exploration, and then he begins to add other items for his final project outline. For example, he's focusing on projects in Arizona that involve the CCC, and he notes that the Grand Canyon is one that he wants to write about, and there's another one called Heaton, and so he adds that to his project. He knows that there are others, and so he leaves a line open for other national parks, so the teacher can see that he's thinking about adding other examples, not just the two provided. He can then add to the outline or the concept map that gives him his outline for his paper in other ways. Here, based upon the materials he viewed at pbs.org, he adds information about the causes of the Great Depression and the New Deal. specifically the CCC's creation of jobs for young adults. When he's done, he has a choice. Since he's recording everything that happens on Zonebee, the teacher can either access later when he shares his trail this concept map by clicking on the trail record for the creation of the concept map, or she can click on the invitation that he just sent her to collaborate or view the concept map through MindMeister. By giving her the permission in MindMeister first, the teacher can easily navigate to that mind map directly from the trail that he shares with her. At this point, the student is going to share the trail with the teacher as a way for the teacher to do two things. One, monitor the student's progress, and two, provide feedback to the student so that if he seems like he doesn't have enough resources or is going down the wrong path, the teacher can steer him in the right direction before it gets too close to that final project due date. And again, as the teacher did earlier, the student clicks on Review Trail, agrees to upload the trail to Zonebee, and selects the trail that he wants to share with the teacher. When the trail appears, he can click on any record. It doesn't have to be the first, the last, or any particular one. He can click on any record he wants, and then that will bring up the record, and he can click on Share, and he has a choice. He can put in the teacher's email address, or if the teacher is asked to share it with the class, he'll just simply click on Make the Trail Public. And as you notice here, there's a lot of different colored filters that correspond to the functions on Zonebee. He can look only at build features, search, focus, playback actions, and so on, or he can share it all with the teacher. This graphic is designed to summarize all the different types of uses that Zonebee can provide for both teachers and students. First, students can find highly relevant resources by using Explore, Search, and Focus. They can then use Zonebee to manage resources by making tags and annotations at the time the memory is fresh, and by reviewing trails later to determine which records should be retained and which should be removed. They can then access applications on the open web like Google Docs and spreadsheets or MindMeister and others to produce a report, to produce outlines, concept maps. Teachers can use this to develop lesson plans or organize supplementary material for the curriculum. Using the Share Trails feature, both teachers and students can share trails with colleagues and other peers. And the teacher can use Zonebee to model research strategies, which is in keeping with both Arizona and national standards on teaching students ICT literacy and research skills. The teacher can generate a starter trail which models for them both the kinds of resources that they want them to use for their projects and how to locate them. They can use the Share Trail feature to review students' trails midway through a project, monitor their progress, and provide feedback on how they're doing. At the end of a project, both students and teachers can evaluate the trails. Students can use it as a self-evaluation to see what they've learned and how they've learned it, and how they might make use of what they've learned about how they learn in the next project. The teacher can also use this to provide graphic feedback for improving research skills. Zonebee then is a tool that's designed not just to find stuff, but to help you manage it and produce more effectively. If you would like to contact me concerning Zonebee and its use in classrooms or for informal learning to enhance self-directed learning and self-management, please contact me, Karen Spear Ellenwood. If you would like to talk to Giovanni Battistini, please contact Gio at zonebee.com. Thank you very much.